Hello people, today I'm actually going to talk with my American accent because a girl that I love demanded that I have to talk like this. So, with no further ado, I'm actually going to surprise her with my beautiful accent. So, with no further ado, I'm actually going to explore this whole continent here, like I used to do in the Burning Crusade and way back. And I actually learned something, your divine shield, it doesn't it makes your attacks just slower, while your divine protection, it does the same thing, but it doesn't slow your attacks. So I learned that the hard way, and now I'm actually just going to. And back in the day, we didn't have interrupts, so in case you're thinking, why didn't you interrupt that? So you're out of luck, mate. You're out of luck. Either you're playing the wrong game. Just saying. Had a giggle there. Uh, There's nothing more to say. I just like this era of the game, back when the game was just much funnier than it is today. Actually, it's just much challenging, having your talent build. It just chills my spine a bit, guys. So, in case you like my content, you can thumbs up, right? I'm doing this out of sheer love, trying to achieve something. Probably going to die here. You can call me a big fat noob. It's no worries, dude. I can understand that, dude. No problem. I take kindly to people that calls me noob. I'm a Magikarp after all, though. uh, you know, I remember back when you can actually. Oh god, I forgot to seal that. Oh, I'm so stupid. Yeah, you should use Seal of Wisdom. It's a good spell. You're really stupid if you don't use Seal of. I like the glowy hands on paladins. I wish they still had that in the game. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing they don't have it anymore. It makes you feel like your class isn't your class anymore. I forgot I had a damage increase around. You gotta notice that. Come on, you're playing World of Warcraft and you're not noticing that. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? Yeah, it's things like that, can make a huge difference with your playstyle. You need to remember to judge a Seal of Wisdom, it's mandatory for your survivability with I actually miss when targets could actually resist your things. It's, oh god, it was so long time ago I met a guy that could actually resist my spells. It's crazy. It's crazy just thinking about it, dude. And now I'm just going to drink up my mana, and on level 38. I'm getting there, dudes, I'm getting there. Close to 70. Oh, I don't know if this is a clickbait, because I'm playing in vanilla content though. But yeah, I know it's a max level process, so I'm not showing it a lot, dude. I'm kinda tired, you know. Kinda tired. Trying my best just to entertain you guys. Showing off where I go, what I do. So you can know when the legacy server release. It will probably release in the Christmas. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that. I'm never logging back on retail. Never. No achievements. Only this baby right here, and my profession, and this whole continent to explore. Nothing more than that. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need anything else apart from that. I can totally stay alone for the rest of my life if they release like a legacy server. I wouldn't have a problem with that. because I am a lonely person. Really lonely person. Even though I'm trying to have a deep, sincere voice, you know. Yeah, about World of Warcraft, yeah. I used to play this game when I was a child, you know. My brother turned me on to it, you know. There's not much to say about the game. More than it was much better 7 years ago than it is now. Because you don't have achievements and no one could see you, you know. No one could know on your friend list, you know. You only had add friend, you know. You only know friends on your realm. Today it's just battle tag, everyone knows everyone, you know. You don't feel safe at all. It's like, here's my driver license, you know. I don't like that type. You can turn this video down if you like to. Everyone likes to do that to my videos. This is just a long play. You know, just a long play. You don't have to sit down here, you can just listen to me talking, you know, about how I wish World of Warcraft is, but how World of Warcraft isn't, you know. There's a lot of things I wish World of Warcraft was still, but there isn't. I think many people do, actually. I think many people do still. I'm not the only one, I think. And I'm not doing consecration because it costs like 200 mana and it's a waste of mana, you know. Many people think consecration is good only because of the thick. It's not. It's good if you have a lot of dudes. You should never go that in case you don't have a lot of dudes. I like the fact that he is running back, you know, trying to get help, you know, like what you're expecting, dude. He won't save you, you know. I'm just going to kill him because I'm a paladin, you know. Paladins are OP, really good. Not like now. I really hate paladins right now. They're just boring, you know. Protection paladins needs nerfs, retribution needs a rework, and holy paladin I don't even want to touch. They suck so much. Yeah. But I hope you like my long play though of this playthrough. I'm actually going to take the max lever here, like I used to do back in the day. So you can see, though, even though it's just farming minions. Oh, there's a good. There's a dude. I wish my hands were still like this glowy, rather. You know, that you can have a choice, cosmetic, that you can have your hands glowing. I miss that back in the day, you know, when you swing your sword and your hands are glowing like, I wanna kill this sucker, you know. Oh, it was Big Dandy, you know. Big Red, you know. Beautiful. Sorry for. I was so tired there, you know. Been actually up on a church today. Talked with many friends, you know. It was fun. And here you can see I'm taking a level 39. I'm gonna look what to spec. Sorry for hicking, you know. Hope I'm excused. Oh god. Probably from something I eat. It's no problem, I don't eat meat though. I'm just going to put it in my vengeance because I miss when Represents was instant cost, you know. I kinda miss that, you know. It isn't instant cost anymore. It feels bad, really bad. Sad, more sad than bad, actually. I think I'm going to go to Winter Spring or Eastern Plaguelands, you know. Just for the heck of it, you know. I wish I could go to Sunken Temple. That would be something, you know. Imagine when the retail. I'm so tired. Sorry. Imagine when Nostarius released their legacy servers, you know. No one on retail will ever play the game. I don't care how much graphic they add, you know, the boobs and everything. I still think the older game was much funnier to play. You ran around outside in the world, you know. You were engaged in the world. You know, it's like It's like playing League of Legends, you know, you're engaged. Even if you're bot lane, you can run top and farm. Even if you're mid lane, you can run bot and roam. Even if you're jungle, you can run. You know, there's so much viability there isn't in World of Warcraft anymore, you know. In World of Warcraft, you're just supposed to fulfill your role and gear up, you know. That's the sad part. You can't fulfill like, okay, I wanna do, let's say, I wanna do, this is just an example, a harsh an example, you know. I wanna do, what, what do you want me to do? For example, I wanna DPS tank my paladin. I wanna tank with my paladin even though I'm DPS. You can't fulfill that role, you know, because you need to respect your other spec. I feel that it's kind of sad, you know. With your old talent system, you can actually spec like that, you know. You can spec like thoughtness and be a retribution with a bit of off tank in case your tank in the dungeon needs an ad to get tanked, you know. That I kind of miss with the old talent system in World of Warcraft, you know. We had a bit of much of choice in the game. Today it doesn't feel like the choice is yours to make. It feels like here's your spec at level 10 and now that's the spec you have to go through all the levels, you know. It's not immersive as it can be, you know. I think the game was much more immersive as it was back in the day than there is now. But that's your own opinion though. You're free to have your own opinion about the game, but me myself, I don't think the game will survive that long, you know. Okay, Mythic Plus, okay, keys, you know, okay, better gear. But for how long will you keep that terrain up, you know? You're not even reporting your own numbers, you know. People like me are just bored of the game. I know you're getting people from Overwatch to join your game, but for how long will you keep up that charade? It won't last forever, you know. And you are free to tone this game down, you know, because I'm just here to make movies and have fun while making the movies. Looking back at the old days, just farming, you know, and I know questing wasn't that fun back in the day. I know many things was broken as hell, you know, but it was a fun thing to do. You get gear, you know, you were happy. You can actually talk with your friend, you know. Also, this is a good thing. Flashlight and hololight. I kind of miss that, you know. It has a thing, you know. In case your healer is struggling, you can toss a flashlight, you know, or a hololight in case your tank is struggling, you know. While your healer heals the other people, you know. You don't always have to DPS, you know. That I kind of miss, you know, with the game. It's so DPS orientated, you know. It's so DPS orientated. I kind of miss the old groovy days, you know, when you can fulfill multiple roles, you know. In Cataclysm, that was the last time we could even fulfill roles like that. After that, the new talent system came, and they thought, okay, let's make that role your spec is your role throughout the whole game. You can only choose from certain fixed spells, you know. What's the point of having a talent system then? If you can't spec like you want to spec, you know. I don't really know. That's just my point of view of the game. I just don't like the current state of the game with the talent system. And the profession, I haven't started about that. I haven't really started about how I don't like profession in the game. You know, I'm still, it's 7.1 and I still don't have max professions, you know. And I don't even play the game anymore because why should I bother maxing my professions when the professions are just worthless, you know. The gear that drops from Mythic Plus and Mythic, you know, is much better. And it doesn't require any skill to do Mythic Plus, you know, it's just you get like 3 minutes left on your bar and you get a chest. Either it's gold or it's loot, you know. And if it's loot, it's something, and then you get something in the end of the week, you know. I don't like that loot fair system, you know. I like when you had to immerse in the content, you know. This I kinda miss that, you know, when you had to immerse in the content and people told you, okay, we need to go there and do this, you know. It's something I really miss. Something that isn't in the game that I wish was in the game. People that had actually time to do the content, you know, instead of... I know I complain a lot, but think if you even didn't play during the game start, can you just think for a second, wouldn't it be funnier to fulfill multiple roles even if you were a tank or a DPS? Wouldn't that be funnier? Instead of having a fixed choice and a fixed gear that drops every week, you know, in case you just go one Mythic Plus. Isn't that much funnier? Wouldn't that be much funnier to have? I'm just trying to be like a guy talking to my friends, you know, when I'm doing this playthroughs. So I'm just really curious. That's all. I'm really curious what you guys think of how the game has gone. If it's gone for the better or for the worst. I know Legion isn't a bad game at all. No, heck no, it's not a bad game. But I don't like the artifact power system is exactly the same as a new choice. You get a fixed weapon, you know, you have to have that for your spec, you know, it's nothing, everyone gets exactly the same traits, you know, it's nothing really new and what do you say, new and revolutionating, you know, revolution, you know, about it. It's not such a big deal. Okay, you get more traits on your traits, you know, it's same traits for everyone that specs protection or holy or retribution or whatever. They get the same traits, you know, they get the same DPS, you know, it's... I don't see the balance in it and quietness, you know. Back when you had talent system, you can actually spec to whatever you felt like, you know. If a guy told you, okay, go spec this, you actually did that. You didn't question. You did that if he allowed you to. And you can spec whatever you felt like. In case you want to spec 2 improved retribution aura, you did it. In case you want to spec Proofs of Justice, you did. In case you didn't want to spec Crusader Strike, you didn't. You know? What's Bida Bupa, Bida Dapa, you know? What's like that. If you want to spec Divine Purpose, you did that. You know, you could go protection and still spec retribution and then spec protection, you know. It's kind of silly. People think it wasn't viable to spec some talents in DPS for tank. Actually, it was. I know. Feral and other classes was really broken with the spec in before the pre-launch of Mr. Pandaria. I'm just going to take one more level. So when I ding 40, this video is going up. I'm just going to make this to see if guys likes my content that I put up. Someday I have to do the rogue sharpening stone and leveling blacksmithing and professions in general. I kind of missed the old profession tab, you know, before they invented a new one. When you see you had that and that, you know. I still think they have that in the game. Not really sure. It's kind of cool that you have it still on your general here in the spellbook. Back in the day you used to have it on your general tab. It's kind of silly how much they have changed the game. Is it really for the better or is it really for the worst? It's really hard to decide. It's really hard. For me, personally, I don't think... I've said that so many times now, but I don't think it's for the worse, but I don't think it's for the better. I just think a lot of people that works at Blizzard should just be kinder to the people that want legacy servers and keep on making content, but just to release a legacy server, to be honest, you have nothing to lose. You gain more people. And of course you want to release more content. I know. Everyone that makes a game wants to release something new and not old, I know. But in case you want to release the old game, just to make a remake then. Like HD remake. It has nothing to do with exactly the story, you know. There's so much opportunities here, you know. I don't get people why they don't use the opportunities while they are handed to you, you know. It's kind of sad that they don't do. So much they can gain from taking an opportunity. Blue Gatling axe. Okay. Okay, I'm getting destroyed here. I'm actually just gonna bubble hurt here. Hope I can bubble hurt here. If not, you can laugh at me. Oh, I could. Holy yay! I'm a big daddy. Oh yeah, I feel so epic now. I could actually do that. Now we have repretance. I don't like this spell. To be fair, I don't really like it. I often didn't spec it, but I had to spec it because of the fanaticism, you know. But I remember you didn't have to spec that to get that, but now we clearly have to do it. But oh well, that doesn't matter that much. It doesn't really matter that much, but anyway guys, see you, and I hope you had a fun ride watching this short clip of me taking 2 levels to 40. It's 30 levels to go, so see you guys.